guys, and thank you for watching today's video. If you're for the first time on my YouTube channel, my name is Anne, and if you have been here already, welcome back. In today's video I created this warm brown cut crease with like a pop of pink on the eyelid. I really love how it turned out. I did something similar with blue on the eyelid a while ago, and I wanted to do like a more warmer and pinkish kind of version. So this is how it turned out. I used the James Charles palette, which I haven't used in a while, and I know a lot of people have the palette, so I thought it would be fun to kind of play around with that palette and create something nice. And this is how it turned out. So let's dive into this video. I hope you guys are gonna enjoy, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm gonna do is prime my eyelids. I'll be using the MAC Cosmetics Soft Ochre Paint Pot, and I'm applying this using a P84 brush from Sigma Beauty. I recently received a different brush, which I think I might gonna replace for this one. I always use the P84, but I now received the P82, which looks also really good. But I will try it out and let you guys know if I like it more than the 84. So today, like I said in my intro, I'll be playing with the James Charles palette, and I used the matte white color, and I applied a little bit of that underneath the highest point of my eyebrow to kind of highlight my brow, and this will also make like the outer, like the highest point of my brow look a little bit more lifted. And of course we want our brows to look like really lifted. So now I'm taking this yellow color, and this is gonna be my transition shade. So I'm gonna blend this all over my crease using a Sigma Beauty E40 brush. I think the Sigma E40 brush is one of my favorite blending brushes. I will be doing a video really soon where I will talk really in depth on all my favorite brushes at the moment. A lot of them are actually drugstore brushes, which is really good. I don't really like investing in really expensive brushes when I know there are so many affordable nice ones. I think most of my favorite ones are from Sigma, Morphe and Zoeva. These brands just have amazing brushes for such amazing prices. So I would definitely make sure to film that video really soon. I haven't had time for it yet, but I did ask in one of my previous videos if you guys would be interested, and I know you are, so it will come really soon. So now I went in with the orange color, and I'm gonna blend that in my crease as well using that same Sigma Beauty E40 brush. And I'm just gonna blend that in the crease as well, just to warm it up a bit more and to kind of darken it all up. I'm going in with a few different colors, and like I say in all my videos, I like to start like with a light color, and then I build it up by going darker and darker. This way I just feel like the transition looks really nice. You can also go in with a dark color and then blend out the edges with lighter colors. But I feel like, especially if you're new into makeup, this way, the way that I'm doing it, it's a bit more safer. It's less, you will less easy like mess it up. This is like the safe way. I feel like if you go in with a dark shade and then you go in with lighter shades around the edges, you're kind of fixing like the darkness. And I feel like fixing something can sometimes be harder than like not having to fix anything, if you know what I mean. So I just like to start with a light color, and then I build it up darker and darker, just really gently. So now I'm going in with an even darker shade. Like I said, I'm just building it up. And this time I switched to a different brush. This comes in the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe brush collection. It's like a blending brush, but it's a little bit more precise. So it focuses a little bit more like straight in the crease instead of like blending in a more wider area. This is going like straight in the crease, which I really like about this brush. So I'm gonna blend this just all over in the crease, going back and forth. And I feel like the transition is already looking really good. Right now you can see the lightness underneath the brow. Then it goes a little bit lighter to yellow, then orange. And now in my crease it's even darker. It's kind of starting to look brown. And this is what we want. So I feel like if you're new into makeup, you find it hard to blend, just try to start with a light color, then go in with a shade which is slightly darker, then go in with a shade which is even darker, and just kind of build it up really carefully. And this way you will notice that you will get like a really nice transition if you just take the time for it. You can also at the end go back in with the yellow color which we used at the beginning, blend it one more time all around the crease, and this will make it look even more blended out. I don't think I've done that, but normally I go in with like the light color just around the edges to make sure that it looks even more blended out. So in the meanwhile I went in with an even darker color. Yeah, that's basically what I do. It takes a little bit of time, but I always feel like the result looks really good if I take a little bit more time with my blending. This might not be a look that you're gonna create if you're like running out the door. This is a look that you have to take a little bit more time for because it just takes a lot of blending. But yeah, I just feel like the more time you take for it, the better it's gonna look. And I feel like with a look like this, you want to make it look as good as possible. So now I'm going in with a little bit of black eyeshadow. I took an even tinier blending brush. This one is the Morphe M506. Kind of pressing and at the same time blending my brush back and forth to smudge it out at the same time. And I just wanted to have like a more smoked out outer V area. Also in this kind of winged shape. I didn't want it to go for like a round shape at the outer V. I wanted it to have more like a winged end, if that makes sense. I really don't know how to describe that. But you can see it goes a little bit like up towards my brow. So now I took a blending brush with a little bit of concealer. And I'm going like straight underneath the outer V. And I'm just gonna smudge back and forth with my brush. This will make the transition look a little bit more better blended out because I felt like it was looking a little bit messy. I'm doing this I wanted to say technique, but technique. I'm doing this technique now for I think like maybe 2 months, and I feel like it's such an easy trick to make your eyeshadow look a little bit more blended without using like a sticky tape. So now I'm taking the MAC Cosmetics Pro Longwear Concealer. I'm going to apply this over the eyelid as a base for the eyeshadows that I want to apply on top of my eyelid. But also this is going to create that really sharp cut crease effect because we're basically creating a line underneath the crease which will kind of cut the crease. And this is just the way how I create a cut crease. So now I'm taking that matte white color again, applying a little bit of that in the inner corner area. I was kind of disappointed. I felt like this shade didn't give like a lot of color payoff. I'm not really sure. I felt like the previous time I used it, it was a little bit better. I don't know, maybe my brush was acting weird. I have no idea. But now I went in with the soft pink color and I applied it next to that white color. Also gently applied it on top of it, just so the white and the pink blend a little bit into each other. And just like I did with my crease, I'm gonna do the same on my eyelid. I'm starting with the light color, then I went in with the pink, and now I'm going in with the bright pink. And this way you will get like a really nice transition from light to dark. But this way we're gonna go from left to right, and with the crease we go from like up towards down, if you know what I mean. But this is just a really easy way to get like a nice transition. Make sure you apply a little bit of every color on top of the color you applied before that. This way the shades will really nicely melt into each other. Sometimes I feel like on the eyelid with matte colors it doesn't always work really nicely. It kind of depends on the eyeshadows that you're using. Some matte eye colors, they don't apply well on top of each other. But with this palette I felt like it was quite easy in comparison that like some eyeshadows that I used in the past. I feel like these ones apply really nicely on top of each other, so that's really nice. But if you use like a really cheap palette, it can happen that if you use a matte color on the eyelids and then you apply a darker shade like I'm doing right now, that it doesn't really go well together. And that's probably because the eyeshadow is too soft, it glides away, it's just a mess. I hate when that happens. Let me know in the comments if that ever happened to you. That's super annoying. I notice most of the time it happens with like really cheap palettes, with those palettes with like really vibrant colors, but they don't have like amazing color payoff, and when you apply them on top of each other it just goes away. It's really frustrating. So now I'm done with the eyelids and I'm taking a black pencil. I use the Inglot pencil in the shade 01. It's just like a creamy intense black pencil. And I didn't want it to go for gel eyeliner or liquid liner today. I wanted to create a sort of smudged liner look. So I just used the pencil and then I used a little bit of black eyeshadow and a tiny smudge brush. And I'm just gonna go with my brush back and forth, smudging it on top of the line. And then I'm going towards my outer V. Since we used black in my outer V before, it's now really easy because you just blend like the eyeliner and then you blend it towards the outer V and everything kind of blends into each other since there was already a bit of black. So now I'm taking a mixture of those two brown colors and blending it up a little bit higher on top of the eyeliner, and this way we will get like a nice smudged out effect with a little bit more of a transition. I don't know. I like to use like a lighter color on top of the smudge eyeliner. I feel like it just looks a little bit more blended, a little bit more smooth. I really like how it looks. So now for the waterline, I'm taking that same pencil from Inglot and I'm just applying it all the way in my waterline. And then to kind of smudge out the lower lash line, I'm going back in with the black eyeshadow and I'm gonna apply it like straight underneath the lower lash line. Also a little bit on top of the waterline, because I feel like if you wouldn't do that, you can always see a little bit of skin showing in between the waterline and the black that is going on underneath the lower lash line. So sometimes I also apply it on top of the waterline, and this way my lower lash line will look super black and smoky. But if you wear contacts, be a little bit more careful with this, because there's a possibility that the eyeshadow will get in your eyes, and I'm sure that's not what you want. Maybe your eyes will get watery, so be a little bit careful. So now I'm taking this fuchsia kind of color and using like a tiny pencil brush and blending this all the way underneath the lower lash line. And since we use this color on the eyelid, I feel like everything really comes together. If you don't like a color like this underneath the lower lash line, you can also use like a brown color. For example, the colors that we used for the crease, you can also use a color like that underneath the lower lash line. But I feel like using colors like this, they really make my eye color pop out, so I wanted to use this for the lower lash line. You can also go for blue or anything. You can give your whole own twist to it. I think green will also be really beautiful with the shades we used. So now for my mascara, I went in with the roller mascara from Benefit, one of my current favorite mascaras. I think it makes my lower lashes look so nice. Of course, for my upper lashes, I'm going in with some fake eyelashes like I always do. And I'm using these beautiful lashes from Lavaa Lashes. And like always, I'm applying them with some tweezers. And for those who are wondering, I'm using the House of Lashes lash glue. And then this is the end of the video. I really hope you all enjoy watching today's video. Now I will be posting a picture on my Instagram with all the details on everything that I'm wearing on my face, in case you're wondering. I feel like this video was already quite complicated, so I really wanted to focus this video on the eyes only. Now if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. This is really helpful for my YouTube channel, and hopefully I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!